WagerTalk one-day power pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one full day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $149. What's better than spending the day watching and following a great slate of games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get every WagerTalk expert and every game they release for that day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back right here to WagerTalk TV. It's time for Puck Time. I'm your host, Andrew McInnis, joined by my co-host, Carmine Bianco. And Carm, what a crazy night it was in the NHL yesterday, man. We're talking about some of these games being meaningless, some of the games having more meaning. How about the Ducks playing underdog, the San Jose Sharks playing shocker? We have the Columbus Blue Jackets playing that upset role. Quite a bit of upsets last night. Some underdogs cashing some tickets. The LA Kings, of course, cashing an underdog ticket as well. The list goes on last night. Very entertaining. And then, of course, we have that game we discussed yesterday, the Rangers and Capitals. Just a couple fights, a line brawl almost off the draw. Few more fights after that. I was just lucky to get the push in that game. And the NHL run continues, Carm. But like you said, having a push like that is pretty lucky, and they don't come along too often. But I hope you had a great night, Carm, and I hope all of our viewers did as well.
Yeah, it was a crazy night across the NHL. I think totals went, as far as totals go, they went like 4-4-1. We had some upsets and some good games. We expected something to happen in that Ranger-Washington game, and of course, it looked like the Wednesday puck time when we have Prez on there. We dropped the gloves, or they dropped the gloves, and we had 3 fights and a lot of penalty minutes, but a lot of offsetting fives. They still went after Tom Wilson and picked up a couple penalties, and then, of course, he left the game. And a miracle push for you, I think, and the Prez. So hopefully you guys make a little donation to a deserving charity today with the money that you guys saved on that one. A bunch of good games, and we are working on some tech difficulties to get Bryan Leonard in. We hope to have him here soon, and once we get him in, we'll discuss a lot of the games. But yeah, 2-2 day for me yesterday in NHL. Really surprised that I didn't go at least 3-1. I thought it was a good 4-0 card, but continues a good run. And earlier in the day, an easy winner in soccer with the Chelsea game going under. And my clients are extremely happy because I gave out a futures bet at the start of Champions League knockout stages, 14-1 for Chelsea to win, and they are now in the finals. That'll go at the end of this month. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, they better be happy. I mean, 14-1. I hope your clients are happy, Carm. That is unbelievable. Getting that great future ticket, 14-1. They are now in the Champions League finals. That's pretty sweet there. Also, guys, the Jets yesterday, underdogs against the Calgary Flames. They win that game 4-0. I cashed the under, so it was a 2-0-1 night for me, and looking to continue my role here. I also have a 5% play on tap for tonight, guys. It is a situational side. You can get that at WagerTalk.com. Today's games are the Sabres and the Penguins. Our marquee matchup, of course, it has to be the Canadiens and the Leafs. Rangers, Bruins, Canucks and the Oilers meet again, and the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes meet one more time. The Penguins and the Sabres, the first game we are going to discuss. And, look, let's be honest here. We have a Sabres team coming off a win. Not just one, but 2 wins. And a Pittsburgh Penguins team off a bounce-back win as well. So, look, when I look at this Sabres team, the first thing that comes to my mind, Carm, use an expression that Marco likes to use, their bellies might be full. They might be a little bit satisfied. They might be kind of ready to go and pack in their season. I feel like some of these teams, all they needed were just 1 or 2 wins, and that might be it for the rest of the season. The Penguins are motivated. They are in playoff mode, and you could see it. I mean, Sidney Crosby throwing, Travis connecting to the ice. I'm not saying it was a clean play, but we're starting to see some of these top teams get into playoff mode, get physical, and as much as I hate what happened to my Habs last night, Carm, teams like the Penguins, I think are done getting upset against teams like this, like the Sabres.
I don't know, Andrew. Listen, and yes, I am a Sabres fan, fan of the team. They're playing much better hockey for Donato than they were for their previous coach. And those were two big games against the Islanders. They rallied around a goalie making his first and second starts for the Sabres. And there's a story, and I'm going to retweet it a little later on about this goalie, but he was born, I believe, with a problem with both feet. So for this guy to be tending goal between the pipes in an NHL game is huge, and to get 2 wins, they really rallied around him. As far as, listen, I see guys in our chat all the time in the mornings before we get these games going talking about what team screwed them over, for lack of a better word, in a parlay. And it could be the Sabres. I've seen this Buffalo team over the last 2-3 years in a similar spot against the Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 300, beat them. Do I think they're going to do it tonight? No. But it wouldn't surprise me if that actually happened, because they're playing much better hockey under this coach, despite missing a lot of players. I'm not gonna go to the window on them, I can tell you that much. But I'm not going to play the Penguins puck line regulation time. I'm not going to play them. If anything, I'm going to take the total here, and I'm going to look to the over, because they're a team that is playing much better offensively and scoring goals. They scored goals against a New York Islanders team, Andrew, that plays extremely well on the road and played to a lot of unders, and they scored 4 goals twice on that Islanders team. So if anything, I'm going to look at the over here, and I'm going to completely skip the side.
Well, it's the old-fashioned saying, during football season, who ruined your Sunday, Carm? It's that old-fashioned saying, which parlay or which team or which side, which total ruined your Sunday. And I get what you're saying, but my rebuttal to you is going to be this. They already did that twice. They busted 2 parlays. Back-to-back times they did that. We look at a Pittsburgh Penguins team. They got demolished, absolutely crushed. And their next game, they bounced back immediately. That has to show us something. They weren't ready to get on a bad rut. They were bouncing back right away, and they clearly weren't happy with the result they had in the first game against Philly. I like what you're saying with the over. I'm right there with you, Carm, but can you see where I'm coming from? That the Sabres, it's kind of hard to believe they'll get 3 in a row and bust 3 parlays?
It's possible, Andrew. In all honesty, if we take the approach, it can't happen again. We fall into that same, into that same thing. It's like the guy who touches the burner on the stove 3 times in a row, thinking, okay, it can't be hot anymore. I just can't do it. I can't lay a big price, even to include it in a parlay. And you guys shouldn't be making parlays part of your bankroll management at all. If anything, they're supposed to be novelty things, pizza and beer money. But with that said, I'm just going to lean to the over here, watch this game. And hell, if the Sabres win again tonight, good on them. But they are also at the same time ruining, Andrew, their draft number 1 draft percentages with each and every win that they have. Right. Like, just tank your season. And I know Prez said players don't tank, but at some point, you've got to you've just got to put it away and finish where you belong, which is bottom of the league.
All right, Carm being a little bit of a Sabres fan on the show today so far, but we'll move on. Time for me to be a fan today, Carm. The Canadiens and the Leafs, plus 190 today. Now Maple Leafs minus 235. There's some questionable thoughts, I guess I'll say, as far as the goaltending here tonight. That's what's kind of projecting in these odds we're seeing. Canadiens plus 190. They were just plus 125 the other day, or plus 115 when they knocked off the Maple Leafs. Cole Caulfield scores his game-winning goal. But the thing we have to remember is, pace of play-wise, dangerous scoring opportunity-wise, the Maple Leafs have done really, really well against the Montreal Canadiens on the season. They've added some grit. They added some toughness. And if it wasn't for a couple blown plays in overtime, the Maple Leafs probably would have won that last game as well, Carm. On the board today, we're seeing a lot of big favorites, a lot of big favorites. So I'm with you. We don't want to be back in these high numbers every single time in and time out. But I know you had the over yesterday in the Montreal Canadiens game against the Ottawa Senators. Congrats to you there on that one, Carm. It's a back-to-back situation now for the Canadiens. obviously playing a Maple Leafs team that we know can score. How does that impact your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I want to see who the goalies are. It looks like, they're projecting just before we went to air, Jake Allen and Campbell as the goalies, and that might be who we see, I guess. At this point, Leafs could go to Riddick. I'm not really sure which way they're going to go. At this point, it is, yes, a meaningless game for the Leafs. They have the top spot locked up. Montreal is still trying to get out of that fourth spot. That was a little harder with Winnipeg getting the win last night over the Flames. It's tough. This is one of those games where you sort of want to throw away. I would probably look to the under here in this game, and not a lot of goals in this one. I want to see the Andrew McInnis that talks about the Toronto Maple Leafs on Twitter with regards to Montreal, not the one on this show that seems to be the tamer version. You're almost talking complimentary about them. Dude, come on, man. The Prez isn't watching. He's still making his cappuccino before WagerTalk today at the top of the hour. Tear into this team, because you're likely going to be playing them in the first round of the playoffs, my friend.
Exactly, Carm. They're the regular season Maple Leafs. That's their second name. That's their middle name. Regular season Toronto regular season Maple Leafs. So they're playing well now. They have goal scorers now. I can't wait until Winnipeg gets that fourth spot and wins over the Maple Leafs. It'll be hilarious because they have a Vezina Trophy goalie. They have a lot of toughness. They'll have Nikolai Ehlers back in their lineup. And let's be honest, I mean, the senior home is calling. The senior home is calling for some of their players on the Maple Leafs. Joe Thornton has been missing. He's been MIA from a lot of senior homes. Bingo night has missed him. A lot of these card games, card guys, they're missing Joe Thornton. Jason Spezza, I'm sure he's getting sore by now, playing too many games. So, look, I think that they've been good on the season. Austin Matthews has been crazy, but I don't think they are what everybody makes them out to be. And you corrected me on Twitter a couple weeks ago when I said that the price was plus 150 when I was going back and forth with somebody else. And you said that that's what they rightfully should have been. So that's why it's funny, because the old saying that, at least when I was playing basketball, we used to say, act like you've been there before. But a lot of Leaf fans beating a team in fourth seed and celebrating like they won the Stanley Cup, I don't really think that's, if you were plus 150 to win the division, shouldn't you win the division? That's all I think. Your goal is to get past the second round this year. You're in the weakest division in the league. Getting the first round win isn't an accomplishment this year.
Yeah. I think, and this is the thing, is this year more than any other year, this year, especially more than any other year, it is very tough to really suss out, a team's power rankings. And Prez does a fantastic job with it, with what he sees. But it's very tough because teams are playing the same 7-8 teams for 56 games. So we don't know whether the bottom 3 or 4 in one division is any worse than the bottom 3 or 4 in another division. It's extremely tough. That's what we have right now. And this is the Toronto's best chance to get out of the first round and possibly into the semifinals of the Stanley Cup, where we'll see who they face at that point there. But then they've still got to get past an Edmonton team that is playing extremely well, and that's if they get out of the first round. But they are favorites to win, and they were favorites at the beginning of the year, and as they should be. So we'll see what happens with them. But listen, I live amongst Toronto fans, and I'm not turning this into a bashing of Toronto. I want to move on to the other games, but I see it on my Facebook. I see it on all social media. The Leafs win 3 games to start the season, and they're planning the parade in Toronto. You know what I mean? And then I'll go at them because of that. But these are my friends. I don't go at Leaf fans in general. It's my friends who are all Leaf fans, and they bleed blue. So good on them, and we'll see what they do.
Well, Carm, just for the record, because I know a lot of people in the PuckTime chat right now, people that watch this show, they know me. They've known me for a few years. I get on their nerves on Twitter. I stir the pot up. But I have all kinds of people I follow that are Leaf fans that do the exact same thing. And they know that the exact same thing I say, show it to me in the playoffs, show them what you can do. And I'm a Montreal fan. This is what sports fans do. It's nothing personal against anybody. People act like I'm insulting their girlfriend. It's literally just a team that I'm just making a joke about because I'm a fan of the Montreal Canadiens. And for the record, I compliment them on this show because this is supposed to be, a professional environment where I do take it very seriously, and they have gotten better. This is the best Maple Leafs team I've seen in many, many years. We'll see if they can transition that into the playoffs. But guys, quickly on those lines, I wanted to say, we didn't really say it, Caden Primo is sort of probable to make that out. So Chris, can we put that up on the screen for a second real quick? The Canadiens, that line that we have right there for them, the odds we have for the Montreal Canadiens, plus 190, Maple Leafs 235. Those odds are the way they are, not because Jake Allen is projected to be in nets. It's because Caden Primo is projected to be in nets, and it's a back-to-back situation. If you like the Montreal Canadiens, bet this price right now. I do not see this price getting any higher, guys. That's all I wanted to say. I mean, this price, you have to think to yourself, these two teams played just, a couple days ago, last week, and the price was nowhere similar to this price, and there's definitely a reason for it. Our next game up here is the Rangers. Go ahead, Carm.
If I can add one last thing with regards to this, and I did say, the Leafs have the first spot locked up in the division, so the game isn't as important to them. That's actually wrong in the sense of if they are able to make it to the semifinals, the 4 teams that are left are reseeded based on points. That is from the NHL site. So obviously points are at a premium. You want to get as many points as you can because you definitely want that number 1 or number 2 seeding. And of course the home ice, which won't be in Canada anyways, the Toronto or any Canadian team that comes out of the north will have to play at a different facility in the US because of the travel restrictions between the US and Canada. But points are still at a premium and important for Toronto.
Very interesting. Very interesting. A new year and a lot of new changes to the league this year with the format and with the divisions. But it's going to be a great playoffs. We can't wait to break down games for you guys during the playoffs. Our next segment up here, guys, is the line change, the Rangers and the Bruins. We discussed the Rangers yesterday quite a bit. We discussed their game against the Washington Capitals. They're now plus 200. Bruins minus 250. We've seen a decent amount of movement in this game. And if the term flat spot has ever meant something to anybody, this is the game that it means something to. I mean, of course, you have Panarin out. You have multiple injuries out for the Rangers. You have an emotional game yesterday that you couldn't really put goals in the net. You couldn't come forward. A lot of fights, a lot of attention towards that game. Then you have a Bruins team off a game they collapsed, lost in a shootout. Quotes out of that locker room were not satisfied. They were in bounce back mode. And this is one of those games that will mean a whole lot to them. I've been saying now on the show that each team with just several games remaining, 3, 4, 5, depending on which team you are, certain games are going to mean a hell of a lot more to you than others. Well, guess what? That game was the Rangers game last night. This game means a lot to Boston, and this is one of those angles where I will bet on the team where the game matters a hell of a lot more. So I'm going here with the Bruins. I'll play them on the puck line or in regulation and watch this ticket cash because I really do feel like the Rangers, they gave it all they had yesterday, an emotionally filled game, Carm, and I just don't think they'll have it in their gas tank today.
Yeah, Andrew, listen, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on this. And let me first off say a must win does not mean you are going to win the game. It is one of the worst angles you could ever take when you're sports betting because they still have to show up on the field, on the ice.
They got to play
in the arena. They have to play the game. But I'll wholeheartedly agree with you. Rangers have 2 games left, both against the Bruins. They left it on the ice yesterday. What they have today, I guess we're going to find out probably in that first period. This is a game that does mean something for the Bruins. They're sitting in third right now ahead of the Islanders. They have 4 games left, and they still have a shot at top spot. They're going to need a little bit of help. They're going to need Washington probably to lose a game. They face Washington on the final game of the NHL season. But it comes down to the regulation win. So while they could win out, their last 4 games of the season and finish tied on points if they beat Washington in that final game. It's the regulation win. So they're going to need Washington to drop a point somewhere along the line. They should pass Pittsburgh and could take that number 2 spot from Pittsburgh if they win out, but don't pass Washington. So it's a big game for them. And we've seen some of these 3-0, 4-0 kind of score lines with the Bruins, and I would probably put it right there. The under is 5-1 between these two in the 6 games they've played, with the Bruins winning 4 of those 6 games. I like the Bruins here. It's such a big price, though, that you can probably take the Bruins in regulation time. I'm not sure what the price is there. Or you can take the Bruins on the puck line, because if you look at it, I think the Bruins' last 8 or 9 wins have been by two or more goals. You look at those score lines. It is the last 9 games they've won by 2 or more goals. 3-0, 6-2, 5-2, 3-1, 5-1, 2-0, 6-3, 3-0, 4-1. So when they do it in style. I expect them to win. So let's keep with the trend, which is Bruins winning by multiple goals when they do win. So give me the Bruins tonight on the puck line.
Bruins on the puck line for Carm, and that's a great point there, Carm. A lot of times in baseball too, certain teams, when they win, they notably win by margin. Hopefully we see that tonight with the Boston Bruins. Let's jump into our dumper chase game here, Carm. I'm going to throw it right to you, but I want to make a quick point before I do about this, and this is kind of what happened yesterday with the Colorado game against San Jose. And it's a point I want to make, because as much as I've said that, favorites right now are winning, and people are thinking that, maybe they're going to just coast to the playoffs, some of these teams. But the first meeting, 5-3. Second meeting, 4-1. First meeting was the Connor McDavid show. Second meeting, the Leon Draisaitl show. I'm staying away from this game from a side standpoint. I actually liked the over in the first game, the under in the second. So happy with my total results there, Carm. But there's just something about a third game here that I just don't like. I mean, you won 2 games already. You're satisfied. You're feeling good. You have to look at, I can't show you guys a sample right now, but there's been so many scenarios that I've seen on this season and late in the season. And Colorado last night is a perfect example of it, where you don't want to just auto bet a team. I want to bet on that team, and I know you have, Carm. You've made some money for your clients on this Oilers team during this series, but I'm not looking to do it in the thing. Will they win? Potentially, most likely, but it's an angle that I want to avoid. I'm going to go right back here on the under, and as much as I used to say playing full game totals, on the later half of a series or road trip, it's a good idea. In this instance, the Oilers want to just get a win and get out of there, get a couple of goals on, and protect the lead.
Yeah, I wish I could give you guys out there actionable info on this game that I haven't already given you, but I talked about this Vancouver team, and you got to kind of feel bad for this team. But this is what, unfortunately, the realignment, what COVID has done to this team in specific. This team was on a pretty decent run prior to missing those 24 to 26 days off. They were on a 6-3-1 run, picked up points in 7 of 10 games, had an outside shot at a playoff spot, and looked like they were heading to one. Came back off the break, won 3 of 4 games, and they're just completely gassed. This team, that there's too much travel. Their games are they're trying to make up games, and they're playing a series of back-to-back games, and it's 6 games now. I had no problem betting the Oilers the minute they went down 1-0 early in that 4-1 game, because I knew they were going to come back, and I took them on the puck line as well too, in-game betting it, and they came back and won 4-1. What's going to change tonight? Sure, the Canucks could push back, but this is a team ready for the offseason. They are done. Bottom of the standings, and Edmonton is still padding stats. They are for their players, Draisaitl, McDavid. So those are the ones, Andrew, when you look at those prop bets, excuse me, you start taking those guys because they're going to be on the ice. They're still looking to get points for these two guys. I just can't see how Vancouver jumps up and surprises the Oilers tonight. So give me the Oilers again. I'm not going to touch the total because it very well could be one of those 4-1 games like it was last time out. But give me the Oilers on the puck line here.
All right, Oilers on the puck line. And I'm with you, Carm. I mean, what's going to change? And so as much as what I say, there could be a flat spot or there could be a soft spot, you're right. Nothing has really changed so far from one game to the next. What will change again in this game? And it's a great point you mentioned about those player props and these top guys and, trying to reach certain milestones, certain achievements. And I said it before, I'll say it again with the Oilers and with the Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. If you like either of those teams to win and you bet on one of those guys to score a goal, chances are you're going to get a hell of a lot better of a price than you are. Oilers are minus 300 right now, Carm. You can get McDavid to score around minus 115. What does that tell you about this price differential for a guy that's pretty much scoring a goal a game? I think it's a pretty good bet. I think that you obviously want to still bet some sides or puck lines or regulations, but these prop bets are a good way to kind of find yourself a lot better of odds. Would you agree with that, Carm?
Yeah, no, I agree. And this is why you've done a great job at giving people this type of info on the show each and every week. Andy Lang finds those player props as well too. You guys are in tune with it, and it's something that I don't delve into. I just blindly follow what you guys are telling me because you guys have been money with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to continue to do that.
Just like I do with your soccer, Carmine. It's been very successful and another big winner for Carmine yesterday in Champions League. Our last segment, we're going to touch on the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes game from a total standpoint. I'll keep it short. I'm just going with the exact same thing I said really about the Oilers series is as this dies down, we saw the Blackhawks lose 2 straight. I really feel like the Carolina Hurricanes will win the third meeting. But I think they'll win it in low-scoring fashion. They'll get a lead, they'll protect it, and that'll be all she wrote. Because I really feel like after the first 2 games, they ran the score up a little bit. They flexed their muscles like Prez does every show. But I think on this instance, they'll score 2 or 3 goals and protect that lead.
Yeah, listen, the best team right now in the division. They lock it up with 3 points, Andrew, over their next 3 games. They've got to play a Nashville team. After tonight's game, they got to play a Nashville team, their final 2. I think both games are in Nashville. And we know that the Preds right now are in a battle with the Dallas Stars for that final playoff spot. But I talked about it. Chicago was done. It's just they had a great start to the season. They got some great goaltending. But at the end of the day, you need to beat the top 3 teams in this division or at least get some type of effort from them. And they really didn't. I said at the time, it's a tough thing. I love the way this Carolina team is playing. And again, we'll go back to the same thing. Is it an auto win for Carolina? Absolutely not. At any time, a team like Chicago, team like Buffalo, team like Detroit, they bounce up. They snatch a game and at the big plus price. So with that said, do I think it's going to happen tonight? No, I don't. I'm going to go right back to Carolina in their final regular season home game. And you look at the games that they've played. They're 3-0 against this Hawks team at home, 6-3, 5-2. And then I think the other one was a 5-2 blowout as well, too. I'm not sure. It was another lopsided game. They're 5-2 against Chicago this year, 6-2 after tonight. Give me the Canes tonight.
All right, Carmine, grabbing the Hurricanes in this one. And Carm, you've been red hot, man. You have been red hot across the board. So hats off to you again for keeping things going. We're going to go back to you for your best bet, your power play, and any promos you might have for tonight.
Yeah, so 2 games up, first of all, this afternoon in the Europa League, along with 10 prop bets across those 2 games. And some of these prop bets are hitting. A couple of nice ones hit yesterday as well, too. So you can grab those over at WagerTalk.com. 3 plays up in NHL in tonight's action. We're still on a really good run heading into the playoffs. And with that said, I'm just going to mention a promo before my best bet. And this is applicable for both Andrew and I. You can get the NHL playoffs and the rest of the regular season in NHL for only $199. That's right through the Stanley Cup Finals. And with that, you will actually be credited also a $100 coupon that you can use in the future on any 30-day or longer package. You'll get $100 off. So that's so head over to Andrew's page, head over to mine. You'll find it on the right-hand side. NHL playoff package, $199. Get every single play. I know Andrew's got a 5% play up. So you know right there, it's a play that normally goes for $35. As far as our best bet on the show, guys, I'm going to go to that Bruins game. I don't know what the Rangers have left in the tank. I'm not going to say they're rolling over because they're not, but I'm going to take the Bruins tonight. I'm going to, on the puck line, 1.5 at even money.
Do you have me here, Carm? I feel frozen. Do you have me?
Yeah, Andrew's a little frozen there. He almost looks like the old Max Headroom thing on Much Music.
Are we back?
Are you there, Andrew?
Back in action, I believe.
Okay, so
okay, we're good. All right, we're all good. Sorry about that, guys. I just want to say apologies for any technical problems. I never see any complaints really in the chat room from you guys, so we all appreciate it. I believe we have the most loyal viewers on WagerTalk TV. I don't really say that enough, guys. I appreciate all of you guys. I think we've had a pretty successful last couple months on the show, cashing some tickets for you and having some fun each and every day. Each guest brings a whole new thing. I want to give some quick credit to Bryan Leonard. I call him Mr. Underdog. I hope you're watching this show, Brian. Brian cashes another underdog winner yesterday against my Montreal Canadiens. He has been an absolute sniper of these great underdog spots. So hats off to Brian for that. And guys, yes, I do have a 5% play up in the NHL for tonight. The run is 17-7 with 5% NHL plays, and I am 31-13 since April 15th in the NHL. Can't wait for tonight's play, guys. A rare 5% play for me. You can grab that over at WagerTalk.com. My best bet, I'm going to go with the bet I made in the last segment, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Blackhawks under. Like I said, I believe this game will be a lot slower pace, a lot more harder checking. And once this Hurricanes team gets the lead, they will just protect it and kind of stop the fire. So give me the under, Blackhawks Hurricanes. Give Carmine the Bruins -1.5 plus 100. And we'll see you guys at the window with that one. Guys, have a great night, great day. Best of luck tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow right here on WagerTalk TV.